Hey guys, Dave from WP Smackdown here, and today I want to take a look at the Parallax One theme by ThemeIsle. This is a free theme that you can get from ThemeIsle's website, and it's a great business theme, and it also is a one-page theme. So this page is designed to show a handful of different sections, and you can highlight different pieces of information about your business in a quick and easy way, all on your home page. It is also 100% responsive and comes with a handful of customization options. So this theme is free, but they also have an upgrade where you can add some additional features and you have some more customization options if you upgrade to the Parallax One Plus theme. But we'll just take a look at the free theme today, and I will show you guys some of the basics and how to get it set up. Before I get into how to customize the Parallax One theme, I just want to mention a few things I noticed as soon as I installed and activated the theme. One of them is that they have a nice little welcome page here. You'll see it has some information. You can go directly to the customizer, and then some frequently asked questions on how to do different things, as well as the full documentation. So this is great, especially for beginner users who may not be as familiar with how to customize a WordPress theme. This will help give them a little bit of a head start. You'll also notice there's an admin message here up at the top of the page. This is telling us that they would like us to install a few plugins that they recommend, and I'm going to show you that screen here that you can get to as well from your appearance menu on the left-hand side. So they just have a few plugins here that they recommend. They'll add some additional features. If you are looking for forms or some Google Maps integration, then I would recommend going ahead and installing these themes that they recommend. But if you don't need those features, then just go ahead and ignore this page and we can jump into the customizer. All of the theme options for Parallax One are in the native WordPress customizer, which is nice. There's no additional theme options page that you have to worry about. Another little small thing that they do here is they add links to documentation and support right in the customizer. So if you're getting stuck on how to change something here, there are some helpful links where you can hopefully get answers to your questions. Anywhere here on the left-hand side where you see a lock icon, that basically means that you need to upgrade to the Pro version in order to access these options. So they're just giving you a little bit of an idea of what additional features you can get from the Pro version, but they're not accessible. If I try to click on them, we have to check out the Pro version in order to get those. The first basic options start with general appearance. So you've got a few general options here. You can upload a logo. You can change only 2 of the colors here. The Pro version, there's a lot more color options to customize, but here you just have a title and your main text. And then you can add a background image to the entire website if you'd like as well. So those are your general appearance options. Next up, we have the header section. That's going to be this giant image with a title here and a call to action button, as well as some of the branding logos that are down here are found within the header section. So if we go into content, we can add a logo that shows up here at the top. We can add a main title, subtitle, and some information to the button and have that link out to wherever we'd like it to go. The logos bar, that's down here where you see these default logos that they've added in for you. You'll want to make sure that you either remove them or update them before you make this theme live, because you're not going to want these filler logos in here. The way you update them is just click on any one of these, and here's the default image that I mentioned. You can go ahead and use the media library and upload a new image of your own, and then add a link in here so that that links either out to another website or somewhere internally to your own website. And you've got the 5 different ones here, but you can delete any one that you need to delete, and it'll remove that logo for you. And a background for this header section. Again, there's a default image. Feel free to go ahead and get rid of that image or add a new one. And you can also select the color that happens as a transparent overlay here. So you could add a nice color effect that matches your branding if you'd like. And then also turn on the parallax effect. By default, it is off, but if you check this box, then that will add some parallax scrolling to this top section up here. And that's it for the header section. So moving down, the next section is services. You can highlight what your company does or some features that you have. Pretty simple here. You've got a main title and a subtitle for the section. That's right here and here. And underneath that, you've got these options for different boxes. So it's going to show up in a grid shape, and you can choose between showing an icon, an image, or having nothing appear. So right now, these three are different icons. You can add a custom image, or you can get rid of that altogether and just have a title and then some text underneath the title. And you can optionally link these sections somewhere too, if you'd like. You can link them in deeper to your website somewhere. If you have a service with more description on an internal page, you can go ahead and do that. So feel free to add that link. It's completely optional. You can just leave a brief description if you'd like. I will note that there are an enormous amount of icons that come packaged with this theme. You'll see tons of social icons here for a lot of different social media sites, software, music, e-commerce, all kinds of different basic, general, everyday icons, tons of different arrows. The list goes on and on. I didn't count all of these, but I think there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 or more different icons to choose from. So those are that's a nice touch that you have there. And you can add new fields, so I can add a whole bunch more services here by clicking the Add New Field button. Now let's take a look at the About section. This is really simple. There's only three options here. You've got your main title, which right now is Our Story. You've got some content underneath, which you can edit right here. And you've got an image. And you can only add one image, and it'll show up over here to the right of your content. After that, we've got our Team section. Again, this is pretty basic. You've got a title and a subtitle up here at the top. And then you've got three different team members that are added here. You could add an unlimited number of additional team members. And the options here are an image, a title, and a subtitle. Typically your subtitle here, if you're using this for team members or staff, is going to be their job title, but technically that could be anything that you want here for a subtitle. And those appear on hover. After that, we've got Testimonials. Take a look at that section. Again, just a few options. You can always edit the main title and subtitle. And then here for each testimonial, we've got a title here for Happy Customer, a subtitle right underneath, and then we've got the text. And you can upload an image, or you can get rid of the image entirely and just have the text there. It's completely up to you. This is kind of neat that you can use a Pinterest layout. I almost forgot to mention this piece. So if you have multiple testimonials and they're going to go on to two rows, and let's say they're not all the same exact length, like right here you've got three that are perfect length, but what'll happen is it'll kind of use the Pinterest layout where it'll move your blocks around so that it fills all of the vertical space and doesn't have any big gaps in between the rows. So that adds a nice little design piece there if you have more than just one row of testimonials. Moving along to the ribbon section, this is kind of a call to action area. There's really just a main title and then a button, and then you can choose which image you want here to use behind it. This is great for just a call to action or something simple where you want to direct your users to take a certain action. Then we've got our latest news. This is going to pull information from our blog, so all of the posts that you've published, they're going to show up here. So the only option is to change the main title, which shows up right here. Everything else is going to pull from the WordPress database from the posts that you've already written. Then you've got some contact information. Here you can add multiple different contact fields. The default ones are an email, an address, and a phone number. There was no limit to how many you could add, so feel free to add multiple as you go. Underneath the contact section, there is an area for a map. Now I went ahead and used the plugin that the theme recommended, which is the InterGeo Google Maps plugin. So here's the shortcode for that. However, I will note you don't see a map here, and that's because I could not get this to work for me. The theme said that you don't need the Google Maps API in order for it to work. However, that is recommended. So I did not set up the API, and I'm guessing that's probably why my map is not showing up. So you might need to go through the additional steps and go ahead and set up the Google Maps API to get this to work for you. But once you do that, you should see a map appear here. And those are all the main sections. So down here are 4 widgets. These are normal widgets just like any WordPress site. You can add up to 4, so I chose to fill up all 4 columns, and I've just got some of the basic widgets listed here. On smaller screens, these just stack on top of each other. They're completely optional, so you don't need to have them there, but you do have 4 different widgetized areas to add widgets to, and they'll show up in these 4 columns here. Down near the bottom, just a quick note about the footer. Here you've got some footer text. You can add copyright information there or add your website's name again. You've got an area for a footer menu, which will show up down here, which are these text links. And then you've got some social media options here as well. This piece down at the very bottom, this is not editable anywhere in the customizer, so you will need to create a child theme in order to edit this information here at the very bottom part of the footer. So to take a look at the footer options, here's your copyright information that I mentioned. Right now it just says ThemeIsle. Here are your social icons. The only options here are just to choose an icon and to add the link to your social page. And as many as you want, they will all show up down here at the bottom. Advanced options is just your site title, tagline, and site icon. Menu locations, I mentioned there are two. So this is your footer menu down here at the bottom. Then your primary menu is going to be this one up here at the top that stays fixed to the top of the site as you scroll. In just a second, I'll take a look at one of the page templates so you can see what a static page will look like. And that just about does it for the customization options here in the customizer. So now let's take a look at both a single page as well as a what one of your article blog post pages will look like. So let's take a look at a static page. Very simple page layout here. You've got your page title at the top, and this just lists out different headers and different basic information that comes prepackaged with WordPress as sort of a default page template. But you'll just see here that it's a two-column layout. You've got your sidebar on the right-hand side. There's some default widgets that I have over here that just show you what the basics will look like. And that's really all there is. And then you've got your footer widgets at the bottom and all the same footer information here. Now let's take a look at what a single blog post will look like. A single blog post is going to look very similar to the static page layout. There's some different information that applies to posts that do not apply to pages. So here's your post title at the very top. Then underneath that is some of your post meta information, which is not available with the static page. But you've got the author, the date here, and then a link that will jump you down to the comments. Aside from that, everything else looks very similar to your static page. We still have a two-column layout with the sidebar on the right. Once we get to the bottom, you'll notice a few additional things. We've got categories listed here, tags right underneath that. And here's our post navigation that takes us to the previous and the next post in our series chronologically. And the last piece for posts is you'll likely, if you want to turn on comments, here's what some of the comments will look like at the bottom of your page. And I will note that you'll see my replies here, so this theme does support threaded comments, at least one level deep, because I've got a few replies. So that's what your comments look like. And here's your standard comment form with your post comment button. So that just about does it for the overview of the Parallax One theme by ThemeIsle. I would recommend it. It is a well-coded theme, and it does have some additional options. If you'd like to upgrade to the Pro version, you can get even more features. But for very basic, simple sites and people looking for a great one-page WordPress theme, this is certainly worth a look.